Welcome back to Ox Tools. I'm Tom. So tonight we got a little fab job that we're doing, and a friend of mine, I have to ship something or help him ship something, and so I'm building a very special box for him, and you guys will probably get a kick out of this. So we're doing a little bit of aluminum welding, some sheet metal. So we're going to make a metal box to protect this item for shipping. So that's the interesting part, and I think it'll be even more interesting when the box reaches its destination and the receiver opens it. So let's just leave it at that. Anyway, I think you guys will get a kick out of this. I know I'm certainly having fun. So let's go over to the welding bench and take a look at the pieces and start putting this box together. Okay, so tonight we got a little fab job here. What we got here is some 1/8 inch, a little over 3 millimeter 6061 aluminum. So what we're making here, we're making a box, and these are the sides. So basically we're making a box like so. Prop it up here, something like that, okay? And it's a box with a lid, okay? So, anyway, we're gonna tack it all up and then we'll weld it up. People might ask why I didn't bend some of this. This is 6061, and so you need a rather large radius to keep it from cracking. So, this is kind of just a temporary shipping box for a friend that's worried about shipping an item and having it make it there intact. So it's kind of a one-time use thing that he asked for, and I said, yeah, I'll help you out, no problem. So we'll get these tacked up and do a little aluminum welding and do a little fab work here. So let's get going. Okay, so the first tack is always the hardest here, and it's not self-supporting. So I'm just gonna prop it up a little bit just to get me in the neighborhood. And we'll do that. And so our first, these are gonna be open corner welds here, which makes for a nice clean little weld that doesn't take a lot of heat. If I overlap it and make it flush, then I got to do some kind of weld prep, and if I decide I want to grind the weld off, then there's no reinforcement, and I certainly don't want to weld it on the inside because that's a fillet weld and it'll take a lot more heat. So we're going to do an open corner here. So we really just kind of need to support this for a minute while we get a few tacks along here, and then once we have this one, then this one becomes easy, and then it just gets easier and easier. So it's the first one that's always kind of a little bit of a pain, and I just got a couple little pieces of angle iron here that are just going to be used to help me out. Set that one back a little bit, and doesn't need much here. I just have these little spring hand clamps here like so, and that's probably about all I need right there, like that, and I can get a tack, and then I can bring it in like this and get my alignment, and then get a few more tacks after I get it firmed up. So let me get the machine set up and for aluminum, and we'll get in a little closer and watch this process. Okay, so you can see the corner to corner fit up that I want right here. So I'm going to get a tack on right there. All right, and do it. I'm using 4043 filler rod here, just because what I have, and it'll be fine for this application. Okay, so I got my first tack. Now I can move the rest of this into position quite easily. And what I'm looking for is, as I work my way along, I'm looking for the place that's fit up exactly the way I want it to be fit up. And so my next tack will be there, and then I'll move. Sarah, is that in frame? Okay. Well, I'll zoom out a little bit. But so what you do is you look for the spot that's just the way you want it. Then you tack there and you move along, and then you make adjustments and work your way down the seam until you get the whole thing. Okay? Alright. Get a few more tacks on here. So this is self-supporting now, and I can move it around a little bit now to get it square. But when I put this next piece in, I kind of get an auto squaring here when I stick this bit in here like that. Okay, so you just work your way around until you get the whole thing tacked up. See, I think I'm going to put one on the end here. Okay, so let me move that around, and we'll get the next side in. Okay, so this part's interesting. You'll see that I'm just going to put this up, so I'm not trying to line the whole mess up all at once. What I want to do is I just want to get one tack on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this out of orientation for most of it, and now it stays there by itself. But what I have is I have this corner right where I want it. So I'm going to get a tack on that, and then I'll bring this around, and then I'll tack the rest of it. So let's go ahead and do that. So you can temporarily take things out of alignment to help you with fit up. Something like that. So that's nearly perfect right there in the corner. And get a tack in there without blowing it away. Okay, so easy peasy, right? Let that cool just slightly. And now I just bring this into alignment. And my next tack will probably be right in there somewhere. Okay? Turn that. Clear the decks a little. Like that. I'm looking at this, and this just kind of needs to come down a little bit. And notice I tapped right over the tack. I don't want to hit here. Nothing's going to happen except I'm going to bend it. When I hit here right over the tack, I squeeze the tack a little bit and I bring the seam together. So that's kind of an important point there. So let me get this tacked up and we'll get into the next piece. Alright, this next section I'll show you a slightly different technique here. You see I'm loose, I'm tacked at this end here, but I have control over this joint, right? So I can move it around and I can influence it from one end here. So as I move this around and manipulate it, once again I'm looking for the spot that wants to be tacked, which looks to be right there. So I'm going to just hit that with a little fusion tack, and you can actually work a long seam kind of in that methodology right there. A little fusion tack, and see, that cooperated nicely, and I'll just do that again. Like so, and you can just kind of with one hand hold the seam and manipulate it, and just kind of get a bunch of tacks along there. Okay. All right. Okay, so we got this all tacked up now, and I'm not going to put the lid on just yet because I got a special surprise for that. Anyway, you can see it's all tacked up. So if your shearing is nice and square, and your pieces are correctly parallel and square and to the right size, it's pretty easy to put a box together like this. Okay. So now we got a bunch of welding to do here. To do these seams, and then the last thing we're going to do here is put the lid on. Okay, like I said, I got kind of a special surprise for this, so let me do a little bit of welding here, and then we'll go from there. So I'm going to do some welding here, and you know, one of the most important things is to get comfortable. When you got a bunch of welding to do. So I got this is one of these scissor lab jacks, and I've got a couple of these, but they're kind of neat because I can just adjust the height, you know, and kind of put my hand right where I want it to be. So I'm nice and relaxed, and I can just go da 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 and just do this weld, and then so on and so on and so on, right? Okay. So getting comfortable and being able to see. If you can't do that, then you're really going to have a hard time with welding, okay? So let's go ahead and let's do a little bit of welding here and see how it goes. So notice I use this hook. Those other ones are just too ugly. I can't use them. Okay, boys. This is what's going inside this box. And so I'm going to tell you a little story here, and it's a secret. I bought this chuck for Adam, and this is A-Bomb 79. His forejaw that's on his, that he has, is kind of worn out, and the jaws are bell mouth, and he's been complaining about it. Anyway, I found him a nice Cushman 12-inch forejaw on Craigslist here in the Bay Area, and I got it for a real good price. And it's the kind of the medium duty version. It's got the holes in it that he likes, so you can spin it with your hand easy. D6 cam lock, and it's seen very little use. Anyway, I'm going to ship this back to him in that box. Now, the twist, and you guys, I think you're getting to know me by now, but I like a good joke once in a while. The twist is, we're going to put this inside the box and we're going to weld the box shut. And Adam is going to have to open that box up to get his goodie here. Now, don't worry, it's not going to hurt the chuck. It's not even touching the sides, and it's not going to be anywhere near the corners when I weld it up. And the box doesn't get that hot anyway when I weld it. But this ought to make for a good video on the other end too. Adam opening his present. Anyway, so now you kind of know the secret of the box. So this box will go inside a cardboard box and be secured, and I'll ship that back to Adam. And right about when he gets it, I'm going to let this video out, and then we get to watch the show at the other end of the shipping lane. All right, so. Okay, so I got them all wedged in there. They just had to be turned a certain way. It's a very close fit, and I got it all wedged in there so nothing can move or bounce around. I don't even think UPS can screw this one up. And this is going to go inside a cardboard box, also a heavy cardboard box with some padding too. Now the last little bit is this. We're going to put these on top and this in the middle, like so. And then you'll see here in a sec when I put the lid on, when I put the lid on, it's a little bit proud, so I have to actually pull these down so it'll be compressed in pretty much all directions to protect it. So I'll just pull this down like this to tack it, like so, and then I'll pull that side down and work my way around and get it all tacked down. So this will have a little kind of a compound curve to it when I'm done, and this will be a bulletproof bulletproof box. Now Adam will have an interesting time opening this, so we should get a good show when he goes to open this when he gets to Florida. So it'll be a surprise. I'm not going to tell him about it and you know, tell him what's coming. But let's get this thing closed up and get her done and get it in the box. I want to get it out this week so he can enjoy his new toy. tacks to be pretty strong. Oh yeah, it'll work fine. When you got a hot tack like that, I have to hold pressure on it until it has a chance to freeze, especially when you're fusing it. The material's not as strong as it ultimately ends up being there. Okay, I'm going to get a clamp. I got to get a little screwdriver here, and then we'll finish getting this thing put together. Solid. Now, fully weld or skip weld? That's the next question. Think about that for a minute. See, even the spot I just did, I can put my hand on. It's a big heat sink, so the chances of injuring something on the inside are pretty small. Alright, we'll let that cool off for a minute and we'll do a little bit more. It's not bad. That one's a little hot. I'm going to let it cool off a little bit. Okay, we're in the final bits of packing up Mr. A-Bomb's little present here, and just getting the final bits going here. So we're going to drop her in the box here. Maybe. Kind of heavy. Well. Get something lower.